Welcome back everyone. Today we are going to start chapter 6, combustion and flame. We use different kinds of fuel for various purposes at home, in industry and for running automobiles. Can you name a few fuels used in our homes? So we know many fuels. Name a few fuels used in trade and industry. What fuels are used for running automobiles? Your list will contain fuels like cow dung, wood, coal, charcoal, petrol, diesel, compressed natural gas, CNG, etc. You are familiar with the burning of candle. What is the difference between the burning of a candle and the burning of a fuel like coal? Maybe you were able to guess right. Candle burns with a flame whereas coal does not. Similarly, you will find many other materials burning without a flame. Let us study the chemical process of burning and the type of flame produced during the process. So what is combustion? Recall the activity of burning a magnesium ribbon performed in class 7. We know that. We learned that magnesium burns to form magnesium oxide and produces heat and light. So you can see it in figure 6.1. We can perform a similar activity with a piece of charcoal. Hold the piece of a pair of tongs and bring it near the flame of a candle or a Bunsen burner. What do you observe? You find that charcoal burns in air. We know that coal too burns in air, producing carbon dioxide, heat and light. So you can see here burning of magnesium. A chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. So when a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. The substance that undergoes combustion is said to be the combustible. It is also said to be it is also called a fuel. The fuel may be solid, liquid or gas. Sometimes light is also given off during combustion, either as a flame or as a glow. In the reaction mentioned above, magnesium and charcoal are combustible substances. So Bojo says, we were told that food is a fuel for our body. So Paheli says, right, so in our body, food is broken down by reaction with oxygen and heat is produced. We learned that in class 7th. Activity 6.1, collect some material like straw, mastic, kerosene oil, paper, iron nails, stone pieces, glass, etc. Under the supervision of your teacher, try to burn each of these materials one by one. If combustion takes place, mark the material combustible, otherwise mark it non-combustible. So you can see here, wood we can burn. So you can write it, take it here in combustible, and there are many other. So you can write here combustible or not. Can you name some more substances which are combustible? You can add those to table 6.1. Let us investigate condition under which combustion takes place. So here is an activity 2. Caution, be careful while handling candle burning. Fix a lighted candle on a table, put a glass chimney over the candle and rest it on a few wooden blocks in such a way that air can enter. So you can see here experiment to show that air is essential for burning. So you can see when the air is blocked, the candle had stopped burning. So chimney over, observe what happened to the flame. Now remove the block and let the chimney rest on the table as in figure 6.2b. Again observe the flame. Finally put a glass plate over the chimney. Figure 6.2.c shows that which was the flame again. What happens in the three cases? Does the flame flicker off? Does it flicker and give smoke? Does it burn unaffected? Can you infer anything at all about the role played by the air in the process of burning? We find that the combustion air is necessary. The candle burns freely in case A when air can enter the chimney from below. In case 2, when air does not enter the chimney from below, the flame flickers and produces smoke. In case 3, the flame finally goes up because the air is not available. So Bojo says, we have read that the sun produces its own heat and light. It is also kind of combustion. So in the sun, heat and light are produced by nuclear reactions. You will learn about this process in higher classes. Activity 6.3, place a piece of burning wood or charcoal on a iron plate or tawa. Cover it with a glass jar or a tumbler or a transparent plastic jar. Observe what happens. Does charcoal stops burning after some time? Can you think of the reason why it stops burning? You might have heard that when the clothes of a person catches fire, it is covered with blanket to extinguish fire. Can you guess why? So you can see here, he is covered with blanket to save from fire. So blanket wrapped around a person whose clothes caught fire. Now recall some of your experiences. Does a matchstick burn by itself? How does it burn? You must have had an experience of burning a piece of paper. Does it burn when burning matchstick is brought near it? So can you burn a piece of wood by burning a lighted matchstick near it? Why do you have to use paper or kerosene oil to start fire in wood or coal? Have you heard of forest fire? So you can see a forest fire here. The forest is burning. During extreme heat of summer, at some places dry grasses catches fire. From the fire grass, it spread to trees, and very soon the whole forest is on the fire. It is very difficult to control such fire. So kilometers of the forest are burnt in such forest fires. Do this experience tell you that different substances catch fire at different temperature? The lowest temperature at which the substance catches fire is called its ignition temperature. Can you tell now why is a matchstick does not catch fire on its own at a room temperature? Why does the matchstick start burning on rubbing it on the side of the matchbox? The history of the matchstick is very old. More than 5000 years ago, small pieces of pine wood dipped in sulfur were used as matches in ancient Egypt. The modern safety match was developed only about 200 years ago. A mixture of antimony, trisulfide, potassium chloride, and white phosphorus with some glue and starch wires applied on the head of a match made a suitable wood. When struck against a rough surface, white phosphorus got ignited due to the heat of friction. This started the combustion of the match. However, white phosphorus proved to be dangerous both for the workers involved in the manufacturing of the matches and for the user. These days, the head of the safety matchsticks contains only antimony trisulfide and potassium chloride. The rubbing surface has powdered glass and a little red phosphorus, which is much less dangerous. When the match is struck against the rubbing surface, some red phosphorus get converted into white phosphorus. This immediately reacts with potassium chloride, and the matchstick had to produce enough heat to ignite antimony trisulfate and start the combustion. So you can see we find that a combustion substance cannot catch fire or burn as long as its temperature is lower than its ignition temperature. Have you ever seen cooking oil catching fire when a frying pan is kept for long on the burning stove? Kerosene oil and wood do not catch fire on their own at a room temperature, but if kerosene oil is heated a little, it will catch fire. But if wood is heated a little, it would still not catch fire. Does it mean that the ignition temperature of kerosene oil is lower than that of the wood? Does it mean that we need to take special care in the storing of kerosene oil? The following activity shows that it is essential for the substance to reach the ignition temperature to burn. Caution. Activity 6.4. Be careful while handling burning candle. When make two paper cups by folding a sheet in of paper. You can see they have made a paper cup. Pour about 50 ml of water in one of the cup. Heat both of the cups separately, and with a candle, what do you observe? So here is water and here is plain paper cup. And so heating water in a paper cup. So what happens to the empty paper cup? What happens to the paper cup with water? Does water in this cup become hot? So if we continue heating the cup, we can even boil water in the paper cup. So can you think of an explanation for this phenomenon? The heat supplied to the paper cup is transferred to water by conduction. So in the presence of water, the ignition temperature of paper is not reached, hence it does not burn. The substance which have very low ignition temperature can easily catch fire with the flame and are called inflammable substances. Example, inflammable substances are petrol, alcohol, liquid petroleum gas, LPG, and you can also list some more substances which are inflammable. And so 6.2, how can we control fire? You must have seen or heard about the fire breaking out in home, shops and factories. If you have seen such an accident, write a short note description on your notebook and also share the experience with your classmate. Find out the telephone number of a fire service in your area. If a fire breaks out in your house or in your neighborhood, the first thing you should do is to call the fire service. So Paheli says it is important that all of us know the telephone number of such fire services. So you can see a fire worker is saving the house from fire. Fireman extinguish the fire by throwing water under pressure. So does your city town have a fire brigade station? When fire brigade arrives, what does it do? It pours water on the fire, as in figure 6.6. Water cools the combustion material so that its temperature is brought below its ignition temperature. This prevents the fire from spreading. Water vapors are also surrounded to the combustion material, helping in cutting off the supply of air so the fire is extinguished. You have learned that there are three essential requirements for producing fire. Can you list these three requirements? They are fuel, air to supply oxygen, and heat to raise the temperature of the fuel beyond the ignition temperature. Fire can be controlled by removing one or more of these requirements. The job of the fire extinguisher is to cut off the supply of air or to bring down the temperature of the fuel, or both. Notice that the fuel in most cases cannot be eliminated. If the instance a building catches fire, the whole building is the fuel. So you can see here, the most common fire extinguisher is water, but water works only when things like wood and paper is on fire. If electrical equipment is on fire, water may conduct electricity and harm those trying to douse the fire. So water is also not suitable for fire involving oil and petrol. Do you recall that water is heavier than oil, so it sinks below the oil, and oil keeps burning on the top of water. So for fire extinguisher, fire involved electrical equipment and inflammable material like petrol, carbon dioxide in the best CO2 is the best extinguisher. CO2 being heavier than oxygen covers the fire like a blanket. Since the contact between the fuel and the oxygen is cut off, the fire is controlled. The addition advantage of CO2 is that in most cases it does not harm the electrical equipment. How do you get the supply of carbon dioxide? It can be stored in a high pressure as a liquid in cylinder. In what form is the LPG stored in cylinder? When released from the cylinder, CO2 expands enormously in volume and cool down. So it not only forms a blanket around the fire, it also brings down the temperature of the fuel. That is why it is an excellent fire extinguisher. Another way to get CO2 is to release a lot of dry powder of chemicals like sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, or potassium bicarbonate near the fire. These chemicals give out CO2. So types of combustion: burning, being a burning matchstick or a gas lighter near a gas stove in the kitchen. Turn off the knob of the gas stove. What do you observe? Caution: do not handle the gas stove yourself. Ask your parents to help. We find that the gas burns rapidly and produces heat and light. Such combustion is known as rapid combustion. There are substances like phosphorus which burns in air at room temperature. The type of combustion in which a material suddenly bursts into flame without the application of any apparent cause is called spontaneous combustion. So spontaneous combustion is explained here. Spontaneous combustion is of coal dust has resulted in many disastrous fire in coal mines. Spontaneous forest fire are sometimes due to the heat of the sun or due to lightning strike. However, most fire are due to the carelessness of human beings. It is most important to remember that the campfire must be completely extinguished before leaving a forest after a picnic or a visit. We generally have firework on festival days. When crackers is ignited, a sudden reaction takes place with the evolution of heat, light, and sound. A large amount of gas formed in the reaction is liberated. Such a reaction is called explosion. Explosion can also take place in pressure if pressure is applied on the cracker. So you can see flame. Observe a LPG flame. Can you tell the color of the flame? What is the color of the candle flame? Recall your experience of burning a magnesium ribbon in class 7th. If you do not have experience of burning the remaining item in table 6.2, you can do that now. So you can record your observation and mention whether on burning the material forms a flame or not. So you can see candle, magnesium, camphor, kerosene stove, and charcoal. So forms flame and does not form flame. You can write in this. So the different types of flame you can see here: lamp, candle, and Bunsen burner. Different color of flames. So here is an activity 6.5 structure of a flame. So activity 6.5, light a candle. Caution: be careful. Hold a 4 to 5 centimeter long thin glass tube with a pair of tongs. You can use a pair of tongs and introduce it with its one end at the dark zone of the non-flickering candle flame as in figure 6.10. Bring a lighted matchstick near both the end of the glass tube. Do you see a flame caught at this end of the glass tube after a while? So you can see there is a flame. Notice that the wax near the heated wick melt quickly. See, you saw that. So the substance which vaporizes during burning gives flame. For example, kerosene oil and molten wax rise through the wick and are vaporized during the burning and forms flames. Charcoal, on the other hand, does not vaporize and so does not produce a flame. In activity 6.2, could the vapors of wax coming out of the glass tube be the cause of the flame produced? So you can see here, when the candle flame is steady, introduce a clean glass plate, slide into the luminous zone of the flame as you can see in the figure 6.11. Hold it there with a pair of tongs for about 10 seconds, then remove it. What do you observe? So you can see here, A circular blackish ring is formed in the glass plate slide. You must have seen that. It indicates that the deposition of unburned carbon particles present in the luminous zone of the flame. Hold a thin long copper wire just inside the non-luminous zone of the flame for about 30 seconds as in figure 6.2. Notice that the portion of copper wire just outside the flame gets red hot. Does it indicate that the non-luminous zone of the flame has a high temperature? In fact, this part of the flame is the hottest part. So you can see the hottest part of the flame. So there are different zones of the candle flame. So you can see here goldsmith blow the outermost zone of the flame with a metallic blowpipe. So you can see here for melting gold and silver as in figure 6.14. Why do they use the outermost zone of the flame? Goldsmith blowing through a metallic pipe. So you can see here 6.6. What is the fuel? Recall that the source of heat energy for domestic and industrial purposes are mainly wood, charcoal, petrol, kerosene, etc. These substances are called fuel. A good fuel is one which is readily available. It is cheap. It burns easily in air at a moderate rate. It produces large amount of heat. It does not leave behind any undesirable substances. There is probably no fuel that could be considered as an ideal fuel. We should look for a fuel which fulfills most of our requirement for a particular use. Fuel differs in their cost. Some fuels are cheaper than others. We know that. Make a list of the fuel familiar to you. Group them as solid, liquid, gas in table 6.3. You can see here solid fuel, coal, liquid, kerosene, and gaseous natural gas. So you can write more. So fuel efficiency. Suppose you were asked to boil a given quantity of water using cow dung, coal, and LPG as fuel. Which fuel would you prefer? Give your reason. You may take the help of your parents. Do these three fuels produce the same amount of heat? No. The amount of heat energy produced on the complete combustion of 1 kg of the fuel is called its calorific value. The calorific value of the fuel is expressed in a unit of kilojoule per kg. So you can see here kJ per kg. Calorific value of some fuels are given in the table 6.4. So you can see the calorific value of different kinds of fuel. So you can see cow dung contain 6000 to 8000 kilojoule per kg, and LPG contain 55,000. So you can see the difference here, and petrol contains 45,000. So huge difference is there. Hydrogen has the most 1,50,000 kilojoule per kg. So burning of fuel leads to harmful products. The increasing fuel consumption has harmful effects on the environment. So first is carbon fuels like wood, coal, petroleum release unburned carbon. So you know that the unburned carbon particles are released. These fine particles are dangerous pollutant causing respiratory diseases such as asthma. Second, incomplete combustion of this fuel can give carbon monoxide gas. It is a very poisonous gas. It is dangerous to burn coal in a closed room. The carbon monoxide has gas produced can kill person sleeping in that room. So wages is so that is why we are advised never to sleep in the room with burning, smoldering coal fire in it. Combustion of most of the fuels releases carbon dioxide in the environment. Increasing concentration of carbon dioxide in the air is believed to cause global warming. So here is a section. For the centuries wood was used as domestic and industrial fuel, but now it has been replaced by the coal and other fuels like LPG. In many rural part of our country, people still use wood as the fuel because it is easily available and at low cost. However, burning of wood gives a lot of smoke which is very harmful for human beings. It causes a respiratory problem. Also, tree provide us with the useful substances which are lost when wood is being used as fuel. Moreover, cutting of the tree leads to deforestation, which is quite harmful, as we have seen in the class 7th in environment. So global warming is the rise of the temperature of the atmosphere of the earth. This result among other things in the melting of polar glaciers, which leads to the rise in the sea level, causing floods in the coastal area. Low-lying coastal areas may even be permanently submerged with water because of the global warming. Fourth is burning of coal and diesel releases sulfur dioxide gas. It is an extremely suffocating and corrosive gas. Moreover, petrol engine give off gaseous oxides of nitrogen, oxide of sulfur and nitrogen dissolved in rainwater and forms acid. Such a rain is called acid rain. It is very harmful for crops, building and soil. You have already learned about this in class number 7. The use of diesel and petrol as fuel in automobile is being replaced by CNG, compressed natural gas, because CNG produces harmful products in very small amount. CNG is a cleaner fuel. So here the chapter is finished and we will start the next chapter in the next class.